Highly touted prospect Shedeur Sanders met with the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants ahead of this week's Shrine Bowl. These teams, who own the first 3 picks in this year's draft, are all on the market for a quarterback, but many have speculated whether Deion Sanders will ultimately determine where his son ends up. Recently, Shedeur came to his father's defense.
I ain't know your parents, being involved in wanting the best for you is a problem.
Right.
I think as parents, each and every one would want the best for their kids. So the fact that he has an opportunity to do that for me and he has the best quarterback in the country, he's supposed to do that.
Shannon, I got a co-sign on that.
So do I.
What do you think of Shedeur defending Deion?
He shouldn't have to. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. Stephen A., we get a lot of criticism. Oh, you're not there. That's why the son went astray. That's this and that. And the family dynamic. He's always been there. He's always done everything that revolved around his kid. Like I said, I've known time over 30 years. We've been really, really close friends for about the last 15, 16 years. And he's always done everything in the best interest of his kids.
Absolutely.
I ain't hear none of this when behind the scenes, we know what happened. Eli was supposed to be in San Diego, but he ended up in New York. I ain't hear nobody say anything about that. Time, keep doing what you're doing. Do what you do. Put your son in the best situation so he can be successful. And then let all the critics and everybody say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, we want what's best for our children, or at least that's what we should want as parents.
You know, one of the things that this reminded me of, Shannon, I remember we saw prime time with the outfits, the change, the pizzazz, and all of this other stuff. And we always downplayed how you always saw him with his kids. The man is a wonderful father, and you could see how much his children love their daddy. And so when you saw Shedeur say what he said, I mean, speaking up for what father wouldn't want that? I've got 2 daughters. You have children. Do you want your child speaking against you? You want your child sitting there saying, step aside? No. You want your child to want you involved in all of that stuff. It's a very touching thing. But the other side to this is that this is the greatest cornerback in the history of the National Football League who has now proven he can coach. Excuse me, he has every right to be involved with whatever is going to involve his son on the collegiate level and soon to be on the pro level. He has every right to do it. And if Deion Sanders says something is best for his son, we should all listen and take heed to that, because he ain't talking about hockey.
Yeah.
He's talking about football. That would be a level of expertise that Deion Sanders has that no individual on the planet Earth can question. He has a right to do it. Continue doing what you're doing, Prime. Continue doing
that's the whole objective, is to be in a situation where we can actually help our kids. A lot of people aren't in the position where they can actually help, and no matter the situation, to help their children. He's in a position that he can actually help his child, and he's been in his child's life for the entirety of it, and he's always steered him in the right direction. We're going to Jackson State. We're going to CU. I want you to be in the best situation, because we know some of these franchises can ruin young quarterbacks, and time does not want that to happen to his son.
And he ain't going to let it happen.
Absolutely.
He ain't going to let it happen. Good for him.
Nor should.
All right, gentlemen, excellent show. We'll be back at it tomorrow. See you both same time, same place. The Dallas Cowboys confirmed that offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer would be promoted to head coach. If that name sounds familiar, it's for good reason. Schottenheimer's father, Marty, spent over 2 decades as an NFL head coach with 4 different teams. Now, upon hiring his new head coach, Jerry Jones told ESPN Brian Schottenheimer is known as a career assistant, but he ain't Brian no more. He's now known as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Stephen A.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm told that you're a little confused right now. Are you a little perplexed by what just happened?
I hate that quote.
Yes. It's a terrible
What does that mean?
Yeah. It means he's not really a head coach. He's just my head coach now.
No, it means like now he's the
Exactly.
man because Jerry put his stamp of approval on him.
Listen, this is
Correct.
Quite pathetic.
It's narcissism.
This is quite pathetic, and all Jerry has done is fuel, just credence and just giving credence to everything everybody has said negatively about him in terms of it being about him.
I lost my
instead of other
papers.
folks. That's all
Would you
right.
help me?
At the end of the day, in the end, what has come down to is this: Brian Schottenheimer didn't even call plays for your Dallas Cowboys team last year, and you hired him as your head coach because somebody else that may have been more qualified, somebody else that may have been more capable, would have been too much for you to share. That's what this comes down to. So I expect more of the same from the Cowboys. You understand? And it's going to be that simple.
Who wants to take it?
Yeah. Guess what? Plus, a more qualified coach would have like, no, I don't want Jason Witten on my staff. He's not qualified to be a coach. Let him put some time in, let him do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll have him. That's what we kept hearing. Now, we don't know if it's true, but Schefter and some of these other insiders have reported that that was one of the stipulations, that Jerry wanted Jason Witten on the staff. And here's the thing, guys, this is what I don't get. I did not hear Brian Schottenheimer's name mentioned in any of the coaches' search.
Yeah.
Guys, we've all, hey, RC, you married, D.O., you married. At least y'all got somebody that somebody else wanted.
No question.
I see somebody,
I do not want you if nobody else wants you.
Nobody want her. What I want her for? RDC, RC, if don't nobody want it, you're like, nah, you good, go on, stay over there.
I'm gonna tell you what now, hey, we go to the club and ain't nobody shot they shot, I for sure not gonna be the first one to walk over there.
Exactly. And so what Jerry did is that he went into the party and got the first girl that he saw, and he was booed up with her for the rest of the night, and he ended up taking her home. That's what Brian Schottenheimer is to Jerry. He was on the staff, he saw her first, like, ooh, I got me something. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No. He said that.
He said he would.
I think that's the only one I got a chance with.
He said he was booed up the whole night. Hey,
I'm staying out.
They danced to every song.
Man.
They danced to every song.
Shannon, man, he got one-liners. Dude, here's the Cowboys are in this terrible spot because they were scared to make difficult decisions 18 months ago. That's just the reality. Okay, one, I'm not going to doubt. I have no idea if Brian Schottenheimer is going to be a great head coach or not, but I do know this, no matter who the coach was, Cowboys weren't going to be good. Okay, Dak Prescott's cap hit next year is $90 million, and they still have to re-sign Micah Parsons. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb's cap hit is like $130 million. And here's the thing, folks. For all you Cowboys fans that go, damn, they're going to restructure everybody's contract. You know what that constantly does?
Push the can down the road.
Continue to kick it down the road. And if you are not good enough to do that, this isn't a roster that you say, let's kick it down the road because we got a chance to win it in a year or two. Jaden Daniels' cap hit next year is going to be $8 million. Jalen Hurts' is going to be $20. They don't have to restructure. So, Dallas, you might restructure. All you're doing is taking the world that you're in right now and take it 2024, 2025, and you're going to be in the same spot in 27, 28.
Well, the problem is also you are doing that to push it down the road and be in the same spot, but you still won't be good enough to win.
Correct.
And if I'm looking at Jerry's hire, here's what I say. Jerry knows that too. Jerry said, okay, I'm not going to be able to win with this team no matter what coach I bring in. This roster isn't good enough. Let me get somebody I like. Let me get somebody that I can push around. Let me get somebody that's not going to push back on the things I want to do to continue to build the brand of the Cowboys, because we are not going to be able to build a team.
Or it could be this, based on what y'all both just articulated. That's all you could get because nobody else wanted you.
I think that's a very real thing.
Nobody else wanted it. They looked at the situation and they said, excuse me, why would I take this job? So the Dallas Cowboys, the $11 billion franchise, okay, Mr. Popularity and the $1 billion playpen and America's team, got a whole bunch of people that don't want to be associated with them because they see what y'all just articulated.
I think that's the hard part,
they
right?
had that notion talk about,
Go ahead, Shannon.
I was going to say, guys, y'all, and Stephen A., you remember how they said, oh, Jerry, he really likes Coach Prime, and Stephen really likes Brian Schottenheimer, and they're butting heads. That was all that commotion was to get the Rooney Rule. See, Jerry liked him. That's the Rooney Rule. That's our one. That's the token. We brought him in. Duh. I never believed it for 1 second. Not 1 second. Because not Prime, not the time that I know. Now, maybe there's another Prime time, another Deion Sanders, Stephen A., RC, D.O., y'all know about, but not the time that I've known for 30 years. He wasn't going for that. And Jerry is not going to have anybody with a backbone. You see, everybody's talking about what the Patriots have done and what Kansas City is currently doing. Do you realize in the 90s, the Cowboys had a chance to be the Patriots and the Chiefs before the Patriots and the Chiefs? Because they had that team. With a 24-year-old Emmitt Smith, a 25-year-old Troy Aikman, and a 26-year-old Michael Irvin. They had that, and Jerry blew it up because of his ego. Clark Hunt don't say a word. Mr. Kraft let that thing run for 20 years. Clark Hunt's going to let it run as long as he possibly can, but not Jerry. He has no say on the final 53. He has no say in free agency. He has no say in the draft. He has no say when they leave, what time they meet, what time they practice, how long to practice. So he's just a coach entitled. He's not a head coach because everybody knows when he stands up, that's Jerry's talking.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing about the quote from Jerry Jones is he didn't say he's now Brian Schottenheimer head coach. He said he's the Dallas Cowboys head coach, which means that I'm going to be able to run my ideas, my thoughts through him. And if I'm one of these 32 guys who has wanted this job my entire life, I understand if I've watched Gerard Mayo, if I've watched Antonio Pierce, I understand that they get you out of there as soon as they want to get somebody they truly want. You don't take a job to go and fail.
Yeah. Hey, at least Jerry's consistent. We know what we're going to get. Still
a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. 7 yards the pickup there. 3 yards remain for second down. Fitzpatrick now. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long, it's Smith escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Buffalo Bills. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
That's what it is, baby. That's
and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And Washington has tied the ball game with the extra point still to come. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point.